Still don't have that arm. Daily reminder.
Not rip his arm off.
The fireworks did. Blind had nothing to do with it. Neither did Charles. Charles was about a quarter mile away. Not a quarter mile, but he was outside the building.
He was 17 parsnickles away.
What's a parsnickel?
5 parsnickles.
It's comparable to 3 shroot bucks.
3 shroot bucks, yep. High quality shroot bucks.
Now, the follow-up question.
What is shroot bucks? Now I'm just imagining, for whatever reason, George fucking trying to sell someone the credit card. I can't. That's not what he calls it. But the fucking NPC who tries to trick you into buying a credit card in Fallout 4. Just imagining George trying to sell that to somebody. He could probably do it. He could probably convince Vlad to buy it very easily, but that wouldn't be enough of a challenge.
I was about to say, that wouldn't be too hard.
George would want to convince someone else.
Timothy.
Yeah, no, Timothy would never fall for that. Even if George somehow convinced Timothy that it was legit, he would have no reason to buy it.
You would have to come up with a reason for him to buy it.
You would just break your spine and take it.
Ah, good. Does George have a spine?
Technically.
Yeah.
Technically, the frame of your body are supposed to resemble and act as bones.
I still love the fact that George can't feel pain. So it's just having his arm ripped off. His response was just like, "Oh, fucking really? Seriously?
Just another Tuesday."
Yep, just another Tuesday. Just another Tuesday in the life of George.
It's heavy is what it is.
Yeah, honestly. Ah! Good. Crab stole my arm. Great. Wonderful. So happy this happened. So very fucking happy.
So, the debuff I'm going to be giving Nancy...
Minus 87 to all rolls.
Oh, God.
Plus 47 to damage if she somehow hits.
Minus 3 to all agility checks.
Oh, God, why?
Well, she has a high agility. That's
Marina, why?
No, that's good. That's good. I'm okay
No,
with it.
it's not good. You have a cold, so now your legs don't work right. Well, leg.
Yeah, watch yourself.
We occasionally forget.
Also, how are we going to say she got sick?
You've been
got
asleep,
sick.
so you just got sick.
You fell asleep in the waist and you wake up a little sick.
I feel like illness is honestly probably extremely common.
It is.
But it's Fallout and it's a game, so who cares?
Yeah.
But because you expressly asked, Marina, we're making the exception.
I'm happy like this.
So, are we ready to get started?
No.
Have you started recording? Because if not, I have a thing to share.
I started 4 minutes, 32 seconds ago.
All right. Up to you, John.
Can we just start?
Let's get started.
So, last time, the party decided to scout, well, specifically Lucas decided to scout further into the ruined city and discovered a very odd-looking creature. Looked looked like a ghoul, but did not move like a ghoul at all. After warning the rest of the party and somewhat tracking it down, the party killed it, and Lucas ripped out its spine.
Yep, I was gonna say.
Proud of
Just
that.
nonchalantly, just like, I'll be taking that. Crunch.
If any of you shame me for that, I will give you shit unendingly.
I mean, you made Nancy puke.
So?
What do you mean so?
Not my fault she's a lightweight.
You ripped something's spine out.
Not my fault she can't handle it. It's not my fault she can't handle a little bit of violence after watching both George and Lucas massacre dozens of people.
I mean, mostly she's watched us kill crabs.
Also, George decided to perform an autopsy on it.
He actively warned her.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't matter. You went more in depth.
And after killing it, they decided to take it back to the garage that they were staying in. And the party was almost immediately threatened by a woman with mechanical dogs with her, who was apparently the creator of said creature. And after this, the party got a little disheartened and decided to return to the Arkwing, but was left a holotape on top of a little table with an open invitation to the naval base from the woman.
She also said something about basically the end times coming.
The beginning of the end.
Yeah.
The party ran into a man named Gregory and his camp while they were on the way back to the Arkwing. And supposedly Gregory had lost his children, and after being told that the naval base is probably where they were by Nancy and George. What?
No, I was going to say, at some point I was going to point out that apparently, and I don't know if this is something that George in character should have been aware of or not, but the woman was not who George thought she was.
Yeah.
Should George, because I basically thought that you were doing the same voice. So
I can only make so many voices.
I am aware. I am aware.
But I mean, if that's how you felt at that time, that's how George feels.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Gregory wanted to essentially go on a suicide run to the naval base, but George, and to a very, very, very lesser extent, Nancy, talked him out of it.
I helped.
How did you help?
I helped.
I think you said something basically once we had already convinced him.
And after an invitation from Gregory, the party decided to make camp with him and his group. And at the, I guess, dawn's first light, Nancy, when you wake up, you feel as though you have a slight fever, a cough, and you're very cold.
Yeah, fuck.
How close are you to the campfire?
John, how close am I to the campfire?
Smoldering ashes.
Well, how close are you to the campfire? Very far away, considering there is no campfire.
Yes.
How close is she to what once was the campfire?
About a stone throws away.
Alright, so did George just hear her say, ah, fuck?
If you want to be awake, sure.
John?
Mm-hmm.
It's George.
I know what I said.
And if you mean to tell me that George does absolutely nothing and just sits there, I'm going to tell you, no.
What? Okay, I want you to tell me what you think George has been doing.
Oh,
He's
you
out
said
in the
you were
middle of
keeping
fucking
watch.
nowhere. I mean, yes, he is. But he hasn't had to move much. And unless something happened in the night.
So George is gone,
Good.
abducted in the night.
Good.
Good.
What would you like to do?
Somewhere in the distance, you hear George screaming about crabs.
I would like to sequentially go to each individual in this camp and pop them up. Well,
Quietly
George
sneak up
is gone.
into every
I'm
sleeping
just
figure.
to dry everybody. I don't do that. George, you hear Nancy. What? John?
What happened? Nancy,
What?
I heard you say, "Oh fuck."
She sniffles. Yeah.
Oh, you're sick.
Yes. The medic is sick.
I'll try not to give it to me.
She purposely coughed on you.
You see, joke's on you. I can't get sick. It was a joke.
Yes, I know that was the joke.
However, now anyone who gets in close proximity to me will get sick.
Well,
It's like I have superpowers. Really awful superpowers.
on top of being immortal forever.
Well, it's a shitty mortality. Either way,
There's pros and cons to everything.
George kind of looks around, trying to see if anyone else is up.
Right now, the only ones awake are yourself, Nancy, and Lucas.
You see Lucas kind of walking back towards the camp, buckling up his pants. Like, I look over at Nancy. You look like shit.
I feel like shit.
George looks at Lucas. You
I
always
know.
look like shit.
I know, budget. I know. Coming from me, that's saying something.
I have a question, Lucas.
Mm.
I've wanted to ask this for a while, but since I'm sick, it's more relevant. Can you get sick?
Fuck if I know. I mean, how much more sick do you think I can get?
That is an excellent point.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm literally a walking tumor at this point.
That's
He kind of scoots away a little bit.
a very uneloquent way to put it.
I'm a walking sentient tumor.
Yeah, I suppose.
Nancy scoots away even more.
A walking sentient tumor that can fire guns very effectively.
Nancy just kind of nods.
Good.
Oh man, did you at least sleep well?
I mean, I would have preferred to have a bunk, but
You'll live.
I mean, hey, he survived worse, but
Yeah.
I kind of like glance over to you. I don't turn my head. I kind of glance at you, Nancy. I like have my finger up. I'm like waving and like nodding lightly. Like, have we seen the old man or his troop around? Have they gotten up yet?
Have they? I feel like George would have noticed.
There's, as far as you're aware, the other people in the camp are still asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we could check on the cows.
Yeah, let's do that.
Confirm that they weren't taken when I turned my back for like 4 minutes. Turn around, there's 2 piles of blood. piles of blood and meat. They're like, man, that happened really abruptly and very quietly.
At least we have dinner.
George picks up a hunk of meat and starts gnawing on it.
It falls lazily through your jaw socket.
Yep. Now he's just dripping blood everywhere he goes. Oh, God,
on top of all the other fluids that are dripping from him at this point.
No, he's relatively clean. He just has the...
Yeah, we're checking the cows.
Yep.
Whoever wants to check them, make a perception roll.
Okay.
Our cows.
I rolled a 9.
Should George also roll to check the cows?
I said whoever wants to.
I'm going
I will
to.
say George
I
is...
just need to get the dice roller.
I swear to God, if we all fail this roll. Alright, I got a flat 15. I don't remember if he has any...
I'm pretty sure you have at least +1. No, you don't.
Probably, but...
No, you don't.
Okay. Alright, yep, so flat 15.
I got a 3.
George is the only one who knows that there are cows.
According to everyone else, they don't exist.
Yeah. Lucas just looks in that direction and sees like vague orange shapes. Or no, Lucas looks in that direction. He sees them, but he can't remember what they are. Nancy looks in that direction, just sees vague orange blobs.
What are those strange creatures? We should kill them.
Here's one of... We should kill them, yes. End their lives.
As far as
Alright, so yeah.
the Brahmin appear to be waking up and just grazing.
Alright. Hooray! Cows aren't dead. Good. I don't know with George. Let me look at George's inventory and see if he has anything to occupy his time. He already cast the banjo into the black abyss, so...
So far as you're aware.
Oh, he tossed it. He abandoned the banjo
So far.
quite a while ago. Yeah, George really does not have anything of any real value.
I mean, you could wake them up, steal from them, kill them.
I'm gonna... Is there guards still
Who is
sleeping?
typing?
Is there guards still sleeping outside the big tent?
No.
Okay.
Right now, no one is out.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of head over to the big tent and I'm gonna knock on the wooden post directly behind the flag.
Okay.
Here.
You do hear slight shuffling inside, but aside from that, nothing.
It's daylight. Are we moving out?
You hear quiet groaning from inside.
They kind of back away from the flat.
After a bit more shuffling, and you can hear inside a few groggy moans and everything like that, as someone is getting up and seemingly moving around. Gregory pokes his head out of the front portion of the tent and looks around.
Morning.
Is that you, Marina?
Typing?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Stop it.
Michael, you'll die.
What did I do?
You're making noise too over there, buddy.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
Oh, they're going to roll an agility save. You hear
George
whistling in the background.
Oh God, why? George is gonna just kind of go over. He is specifically gonna hang out with Biggie.
Let's say it.
Okay.
So Gregory pokes his head out the tent.
He just looks around, looks at you for a moment, very confused, and then slight realization hits him. It's morning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's morning. I'll be heading out.
Where are we even going?
We have a direction. We're going to lead you to our settlement. There's also an airship. We'll explain that along the way.
He seems a little baffled by the mention of an airship,
That's fine.
shakes his head, and goes back in his tent. And
George
you want
is
to do anything?
having a.
I guess. How many other tents are there? You said there were 3 tents total.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go to, I guess, spatially the one on my left. And I'm just gonna kind of knock on the wood. And I'm gonna kind of announce, "Hey, we're gonna be joining up with you. We're about to be heading out soon." And I'm just gonna kind of do that to the other one as well.
All right.
I'm just having like a meta moment where my brain has only just now registered that apparently Biggie Smalls existed in this timeline. And frankly, I don't know how to deal with that. It's like,
Oh my god.
it doesn't.
I'm gonna say during all this, Nancy's kind of curled up trying to get a nap before they have to go.
So Nancy's having a nap.
George is.
Lucas is actively
George-
trying to get people moving, and George is having an existential crisis.
Yep. He's just standing next to us and having an existential crisis. As he for some reason is thinking about Biggie Smalls, and for whatever reason his brain cannot reconcile the existence of Biggie Smalls.
Oh my god.
He just don't know why, but it doesn't make sense to him. He's never really thought about it this hard before. Like, he vaguely knew about the existence of Biggie Smalls. But for some reason, at this exact moment in time, he's realized the cow is named after Biggie Smalls, and his brain just can't. He's just standing there, this blank expression.
So, after a little while, not really too long, but a few minutes go by, and from the big tent, Gregory emerges, all dressed and seemingly ready to go. From the 2 smaller tents, one from each, it appears to be like a mercenary kind of guy. From the small tent on the right, a very well built and clean shaven guy walks out, and he seems already alert and is looking around at everything.
Is the guy who was sitting on the bench last night coming out?
That would be the guy to the left, on the left hand.
Okay.
He seems a little more relaxed and laid back. He's not exactly
The best guard.
Yeah. But he is at least slightly scanning around, and if you weren't actively looking at him, you would almost think he's just acting like a fool, but he is still scanning around lazily.
Okay.
Like you're like a fool with your pants on.
Just out of force of habit, George is gonna eyeball this guard and see if he has any resemblances to a certain individual.
Okay. Roll perception.
Okay. He is almost completely with this character. He rolled a nat 20. Is it Deacon?
You have no idea who this man is.
Okay. George, you can never be too careful. Because I'm pretty sure we've already discussed that with you in the past, Marina, where Deacon, in Fallout 4, Deacon legitimately appears in like every scene in camouflage.
In the schools.
Yeah, so George has just kind of learned to constantly be on the lookout for Deacon. You never know when you're just going to look at a shrub and you're just going to see Deacon's face. Like, hi there.
Well, hello.
I'm going to kind of look to the two guards. I don't know what those two are doing, but I'm available to help break down camp.
The clean-shaven one looks at you, gives you a quick scan up and down. All right, let's go.
All right. And I start helping break down.
Is it safe to assume George can kind of see them doing that?
Yeah.
No,
George
you're too invested nuzzling Biggie.
Yeah. No, I say George walks over, does what he can. Like, again, with the understanding that he only has one arm.
As George walks over, the other guard looks at George, looks at his one arm, and gives a slight yawn. You mind doing this for me?
George looks over. Doing what specifically?
Oh, I thought you were coming over here to pack up my tent for me.
I was coming over to help, I suppose, but yeah, alright. I'm gonna say George attempts to pack up his tent.
He gives a pretty bright smile. Thanks, man.
What, am I rolling something for this, or is this just
I already
something that takes
I
time?
like the clean shaven guy.
No, you don't.
Much more than him.
So is George rolling something, or is this just going to be something that happens?
No, you're just doing it all on your own.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna say at this point Nancy has given up trying to nap. She can't breathe through her nose.
She just keeps thinking about Biggie.
So she gets up and kind of looks around to see if there's anything she can do to help.
Okay. As Gregory looks around, a woman emerges from behind him and takes a cautionary look around at everyone here. And Gregory goes about taking apart the bigger tent while Lucas and the clean-shaven guard take apart his tent, and George single-handedly attempts to take apart the other tent.
Nancy's gonna
He's
go
doing
over
his
to George.
best.
Nancy's gonna be like, I got this. You only have one.
So Nancy's
George.
gonna help George.
George looks like he almost tries to argue and then just kind of dejectedly is like, alright, fine.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. After a few moments, Lucas and the other guard, you have a pretty well put together tent roll.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy's is not the greatest, but not the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm decent.
And Gregory has another fairly good-looking tent roll.
Nancy's gonna turn to the guard that was gonna let George roll up the tent by himself.
Okay.
Hey, sorry to bother you, man, but did you realize he only had one arm?
Huh?
I'm gonna take that as a no. See, my friend, he was gonna help you, but he's only got one arm.
Uh-huh.
He can't. Never mind. I hope you slept well or catch up on your sleep on the way. And she just kind of walks off. What?
No, he said I could use some more.
Can't we all? Oof. I caught a cold in the middle of the night. What?
Quickly, cough on him.
Infect him.
Spread the virus.
We're gonna find out like 3 days from now she actually has like Ebola.
Or like she has some kind of vampiric plague.
Does she know the way?
Oh god.
Suddenly Nancy knows all the ways to all the places.
But
Oh god.
do you know the
Without the
way?
pit boy. It's this way.
So what is everyone doing?
Until is the camp packed?
The camp is all packed.
It's packed. I'm gonna approach the woman and I'm going to introduce myself. Hi. We showed up last night and thought we might be able to help you out. Get you some business. Offer you a place of sanctuary to come back to. We have a settlement that we run not too far from here.
She hesitantly takes a step back from you and looks you up and down, but still gives you a fairly warm smile. Oh, well, thank you. We will take you up on that offer. I know my husband talked about you last night, and you seem safe.
Yes.
It's just like
Well-
the awkward silence
Well,
following
the
that.
camp was kept safe overnight. I feel that's
Oh my god.
something to help our case on the matter.
Mm.
Gregory steps up to Lucas. So, where are we going?
John, what direction are we headed? Are we heading south
No, you're heading northwest.
and northwest? Northwest a bit. However long a distance maybe. Lucas remembers. I don't remember. I tell them we're heading in this direction this far, and that there's plenty of protection here.
You're about 100 miles out.
I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I thought we were only like 80 miles out at this point.
I thought you were 100. If I said 80, it was 80.
Thank you. Regardless, we're going to be moving all day.
All right. So, is everyone going to start packing up to go?
Yeah.
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 I'm going to kind of point out to them, we've got a smaller cart that we're dragging behind us if you need to pack anything that might lighten the load for your Brahmin.
You take a quick look around, and they seem to have already packed most of their stuff on the Brahmin.
Okay.
Like all of the tent rolls are on the Brahmin. It didn't really look like they had too much on them.
Okay.
The Brahmin was already packed full of a few trunks.
Okay. Alright, then, yeah, we're on the road again. Got
On the road again.
George Nancy.
I was going to sing that.
Does Nancy know that song?
Would she?
No.
Maybe?
I was going to sing it as a player, but, I mean, if she knows it in the game.
So you're just going to start moving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. A few hours into walking, you haven't gone too far, but you still made good headway. The sun isn't even at its peak yet. Nancy,
7
make a
death
perception
claws.
check.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, John? All I heard was 700 death claws.
Nancy.
Don't Marina, please
perception. Nancy, perception.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Also, I was the one who said the.
I know. I couldn't hear John over you, though.
Oh, sorry.
16.
Okay. You see, the guards seem to be more protecting Gregory's wife, and Gregory seems to be like flanking her and keeping a watchful eye out around as the Brahmin is in front, and she seems to be slowing down a little and starting to sweat a little.
Okay.
As a medic, would I know what's going on with her physically?
As of right now, no. You just know that something's wrong.
Is George and Lucas close to me enough that I could say in a low tone that they can't hear?
I mean, you can walk up to them, yeah.
Oh, we're walking. Okay. I thought we were all in the carts and stuff. Nancy walks up to George and Lucas. Hey, you guys see Gregory's wife?
What about her?
She does not.
George. Can George roll perception?
You can, yes.
17 flat.
Okay.
I'm going to say George, because this is just how George's brain works. George is specifically looking to see if she looks tense. Like he's trying to look if she's uncomfortable rather than ill.
She was uncomfortable the moment she saw all of you.
Specifically,
so
he's trying.
She's tense.
He's trying to figure out if something isn't quite on the up and up with this group.
Okay. As far as you can tell, she's just struggling a bit.
Medic, you want
I'm gonna say
to take this?
Yeah, I think I'll go handle this. She gently kind of walks up to the wife, if that's okay.
Put a mask on.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. Cover your mouth
Oh yeah. She
with the
she
bandana.
thumbs up to Lucas, and then puts on her scarf and goggles and approaches the wife.
Okay. As you approach,
You didn't need the goggles.
following with the same perception check, you notice the guards get really on edge when you walk up to her.
Didn't need the goggles.
Goggles are cool, okay? Don't judge me.
You just
Suspicious.
you
too.
basically highwayman's disguise.
Okay.
And then walked up to them without saying anything.
You have a point there.
You didn't need the goggles.
So, as Nancy approaches, she takes off her goggles, keeps the wrap on, and says, "Hello, sorry to disturb you guys. I just figured I'd put this on because I kind of have a cold at the moment, and I don't want anybody catching it. But I wanted to make sure. Are you okay? Are you feeling all right?"
She gives you a bit of a pained smile. Oh, no, I'm fine.
If are you sure? Because I'm a medic. I can help you.
No, I'm fine. Let's just keep moving.
Okay. But do you mind if I stay close by you in case something happens?
I do mind.
I understand. If you need anything, I'll be right over there. Okay?
Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. Don't be afraid to say if you need help or anything, okay? It's really no problem. I'd rather make sure you're okay.
That's very sweet of you.
Thank you. Take it easy, alright? Don't push yourself too hard. And she heads back to George and Lucas.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on her for the rest of the trip.
Okay.
George is kind of uneasy, but he's just kind of rolling with it.
Okay. So you're just gonna keep moving?
Yeah. Until something changes.
Okay.
If I can, I would love to have Nancy just keep rolling perception. Every chance she can.
Make another perception check.
18! Whoop.
That's not gonna get old. Every time
Nah.
you're happy or show any emotion, you die a little.
Yep.
Does this bring you joy, John?
It brings me immense joy.
That's disturbing. But okay.
Your lack of happiness brings him happiness. Schadenfreude, everybody. Schadenfreude.
So, you continue moving onwards, and at this point, you're about 50 miles to the Arkwing. You are within range for an emergency evac, if you have to. Nancy, as you have continued walking on, and it's been another 2, maybe 3 hours, you notice that she has been getting slower and slower, and you've kind of slowed down to match her pace. You and the Brahmin and the rest of the party. Until it's about midday when you hear Gregory call out, "Hey, so would you mind if we make camp for a little bit here?"
Not a problem.
I have no objections to that.
George is for to the wife.
You're doing what?
He's walking over to Gregory.
Okay.
And he's going to roll. That is a 16 for charisma.
All right.
He's
What do you want to say?
Okay. Dear, something is wrong. Now, I didn't know over here, but I know our medic. Can she do anything for you?
As you approach, she does step back from you. No, I just need to rest for a little bit. It's fine.
Resting is all well and good, but I'm kind of concerned about you. We just want to help. If there's literally anything we can do. Because right now, I'm kind of watching you
She does actively try to keep her distance from you. It's fine. Look, we just need to rest for a while. If you're not okay with resting for a while, please go on ahead. We'll catch up.
George kind of keeps his distance. And if you're scared of me, just say something rather than letting me dwell on it. Kind of turns back and heads back to his cart.
Okay.
Nancy's gonna approach the wife next.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Is there anything I can help you unpack?
No. I just need to sit down for a while. That's all. We can get moving
That's fine.
in a little bit.
Understand. Let me know if you need anything, okay?
Sure. Is Lucas gonna try next, or?
Go down the line.
Lucas is gonna just do his best to help set up this little pit stop camp we're doing.
Okay.
Yep, he's gonna help Lucas.
You see that they aren't exactly like taking any supplies off of the Brahmin. The two guards are just actively scanning the area, and Gregory's just sitting his wife down on a tree stump.
Okay.
Jumping. John, from a medical perspective, can I make another perception roll just to see if it's something physical like a limp?
Sure. Make a perception check.
Okay. That is a 16.
Okay. You notice that Gregory is paying special attention to every move she makes. The guards are specifically trying to make sure no harm comes to her. And as she's walking, she keeps her hand on her stomach.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Preggers. Oh, no.
So she's not sick. There's nothing we can do.
Pregnant women should sit down.
Well, I mean, yes, we are taking.
Yes, but like
Instead of
for the
saying,
rest
like-
of the ride, she should be riding something. She should not be walking.
Well, you are the only one so far they know who realizes. So.
I'm gonna go and see if Nancy's gonna gently kind of walk over to Gregory, keeping a safe distance, so not to like scare them or anything. And she's
Okay.
just gonna say, "Hey, Gregory, can I talk to you for a sec?"
He looks up at you and looks concerningly over at his wife, but she gives a pretty happy nod, and he gets up and walks over to you.
She's gonna kind of pull him away a little bit so she doesn't necessarily hear the conversation, if that's possible. Just
Okay.
kind of gently say, hey, she's doing great. I would recommend as a medic that we have her maybe ride a Brahmin, or we do have a cart. She can ride in the cart if she wants. Do you think she's hydrated enough? I think we have some water.
I think she's... If you're offering, we'll take you up on the cart, but she should be fine with everything else. We've packed plenty of food and water for a long trip.
Sounds good. Yeah, she can definitely take the cart. Anything, we got it. We got you. She goes up to George and Lucas. Hey, I guess the wife's gonna take this cart, and she points to her own.
You mean Biggie's cart?
Biggie's cart.
George looks indignant. How dare you take my cart from me?
Deal with it. This is what Biggie wants.
You don't know Biggie. You don't know Biggie like I know Biggie. We have a bomb.
You do.
Like, he hugs Biggie. then he kind of like lets go and looks over at the woman. Yeah, she can have the car.
John, just out of curiosity, how did the Brahmin react to George hugging it?
He's just eating grass.
Simply rides Biggie's cart over to the cart.
Nancy's gonna come along and offer her a hand to help her into the cart.
Right.
Lucas, what are you doing?
Nukes.
I don't really think there's much for me to be working on. I guess I'll roll a perception and keep watch with the guards.
Okay.
18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay. As you see, Nancy and George walking Biggie in the cart over to Gregory's wife. You do see in the distance something flying, and you can't tell if it's either a blood bug or a bloatfly. But
Okay.
something is flying in your direction.
Kind of generally, do I have like a range of how far it is?
Right now, it's a good 50 feet away.
It's like 50 feet away?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna watch it. I'm just gonna kind of point out to the other guards. It's like, so there's a bug. I'll take care of it. You keep an eye on the rest of the perimeter, and I'll walk towards it. And when I get within, I guess, optimal range, which would be 20 to 30 feet, I guess, I'll take a shot at it.
All right. Roll to
When
attack.
okay. As I get closer, do I see exactly what it is?
You see that the only reason you couldn't discern whether it was a blood bug or a bloatfly is because it's two bloatflies, one right behind the other.
Okay. So I'm going to lift up one gun. I'm going to fire at it for a wonderful 16 total.
All right, that hits.
All right. And just because I have the second gun, I'm going to aim the laser pistol at the one behind it. Just going to roll the attack for that now. That is also a 16 total. So,
They both hit.
all right. Rolling damage for the first gun. $21 for the auto pistol.
Okay, and the other?
The other is 17.
All right. As you casually walk over to the two bloat flies. You raise up your pistols and fire with both of them, and almost instantaneously, both of them seem to just explode.
Cool.
That's
you get
300 experience for Lucas.
yeah, 2 XP in total.
These were the chosen blood flies.
Let's wait till we find the legendary glowing bloat fly of Big Empty.
Oh god, no. It's not glowing, it's just giant.
It's very neat. I mean, it shot radiation.
Yeah, it shot plasma.
Mm.
That was plasma.
John, I assume you know of the bloat fly we speak of.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah. Raid boss level bullshit right there. It was a crazy bitch.
George ever sees that, he's just gonna come, leave our cave, and never go back.
So yeah, I kill the bloat flies, and then while I'm out a little further, I'm gonna roll another perception check.
Okay.
13.
Based on the sounds of the gunshots, you do see that there are at least 3 rad stags running away from where you are.
Okay. Alright, so probably too far for me. I could probably peg one of them.
You can try.
Okay. Natural 19.
That's a hit.
Okay. Just because I want that meat. I'm gonna roll again. That is a natural 18 plus, I believe, plus 7 for the energy pistol.
All right. With the energy pistol?
Yep.
Okay. As you raise up your gun, you fire on the rad stag, the one that's in the back. The other 2 seem to just skip away. This rad stag gets hit at least on the side of it, and then disintegrates to ash.
Damn it. Didn't think that worked.
You just walk over, pull 2 perfectly good steaks out of the pile.
No, I don't think John's gonna let me pull the Fallout bullshit.
That's 2 XP. I asked if you wanted the energy pistol.
He did. He did.
This is I really need that second kinetic pistol. I'm absolutely going to be trading in all of these fusion cells for 9mm ammo when that day comes.
All right.
Oh, shite.
I mean, there's some pretty pristine ash over there if you want it. What else are you doing?
I guess I'll make one last cursory glance at the area. I don't expect to find anything.
Okay.
You see
12.
14 death claws.
It seems that in the immediate area, you pretty much scared away anything that was there.
Cool.
Nancy and George.
Hey.
As you're doing your best to help Gregory's wife onto the cart, you see she gets very scared when she hears the gunshots. Like, to the point where she's visibly shaking.
She only heard 2 laser shots.
So there's still 2 laser shots.
Okay.
Get rid.
Nancy's gonna I have a question. Nancy was gonna try and help her get into the cart. Is she still helping her get in?
When Nancy or George goes to actively help her in, she flat out refuses to let you touch her.
Oh, okay.
Either of you.
George looks a little upset, but doesn't say anything, and just kind of steps back.
Nancy's gonna put a hand on George's shoulder, as if to say, like, it's not you, bro. And when she starts visibly shaking, Nancy would have taken her hands, but after the first reaction, she just kind of holds up her hands and goes, "It's okay. He was just probably taking care of a bug. You're safe. If there was any trouble, we would handle it. We would protect you."
Stray bullet just takes Nancy's head off her shoulders.
A faint quack in the distance.
Welcome to Madoka Magica episode 3.
Lucas, to expect.
I don't know if I said this, but 2 XG for the Rad Stag.
No, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
She is still visibly shaking, but she gives Nancy a warm smile. No, I'm okay. It's fine.
Okay. It's okay to not be okay, you know. You're allowed to have emotions. That's why you have them.
Yes, and my current emotion is fine.
Okay. That's fair.
George chuckles slightly at that.
Gregory looks around, seemingly looking for Lucas.
What the fuck?
Do I notice this?
I mean, you're out in the field.
I mean, yeah, I am. So, is someone going to, like, call me over?
No, you fucked off to do your own thing.
You fucked off to go get XP.
I mean, I fucked off to go. I mean, the XP was a side bit. That wasn't my goal.
I went off to protect us from those 2 bloat flies and that innocent rat.
I mean, the rat stag I wanted to meet, but I fucked up.
It's like, you're trying to justify this.
The blowflies I went to kill because I wanted to feel like I was doing something. And the rat stag I wanted to meet, but I fucked up.
Either way.
Gregory looks around at everyone. Well, when the other one gets back, we can keep moving now that we have a cart.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Sure.
Not that.
George is actively. Sure, you are further than 20 feet.
I'm not, though. The blowflies were like 50 feet when I saw them, and then I walked just close enough so that I met them in range, and then I didn't progress any further.
You progressed to get the Rad Stag.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked if they were in range from where I was.
I guess. You're still not next to the cart.
Okay. Do I see the guard? I mean, I'm still like keeping an eye out. Do I see the guards walking back?
Yeah, you're in eyesight. They didn't go anywhere. You're in eyesight. You're still far. You're still away.
Are you not understanding what I'm asking? Are people gathering to start moving again?
What do you mean, are they gathering? They're standing next to her and she's on a cart.
Then I go back. Fuck.
Jesus, man, how hard is it to say, alright, I'm done, I'm going back?
How hard is it to fucking understand a simple fucking question? Fuck.
I don't even remember your question.
Do I see them getting ready to leave?
Okay. Alright.
Either way, I'm back. I'm walking alongside the carts.
Alright. So, considering you have a fairly lengthy journey, Would anyone like to speak about anything? Or would you rather just keep moving?
I'm gonna say, because George, I'm assuming at this point, is walking.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say George is gonna kind of walk outside Gregory and just kind of small talk with him.
Okay. Nancy,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna say she's small talking the wife while also like making sure there's no changes in her situation.
Okay. And Lucas?
Desperately trying to claw steaks out of that pile of ash.
No, I'm not.
You scooped it all up with a broom and dustpan.
Roll 7 for a perception check, just to look out. There's not much for me to be doing right now.
You smell the color orange. This confuses me.
That's a natural 1, Michael. I just kind of zone out for a bit.
All right. As far as you can see, there doesn't really appear to be any danger in the immediate area, so you pretty much just have time to think to yourself as you keep walking. So you're really lost in thought at this point. Nancy, from your perspective, almost the second that the cart started moving and she was sitting down, she seemed a lot more at ease and not as tense.
That is good.
George. Your small talk mainly consisted of Gregory asking, what happened to your arm?
I was actually going to ask if that comes up. George is going to tell the story in its entirety, the summarized version of which is they went into the building. They angered George. Tried to fight them, tried to blow up the scat. No, what was it? So the order of events was he put the landmine on basically at the top of the staircase to get onto the scaffold. And then he was shooting at them, and then one of them got to the landmine, and then the scaffold collapsed. He fell down, he fought them for a bit, then he was surrounded. He got shot by Vlad. And he includes that in the story. He got shot by Vlad, and then the last remaining Mirelurk ripped his arm off, and then George, very aggravated, crammed a grenade in his mouth, and then retrieved his arm.
All the while, Gregory is sitting there in bewilderment and amusement.
His arm is currently... He could have it back. Yeah, I think today, basically. If I recall correctly.
Yeah, at some point today.
Yeah.
Alright, so after a good few more hours of walking, in the distance, like over towards the horizon, you do see the outer layer of wall for the settlement.
You see the Archwing, it's on fire.
You do see the very imposing figure of the Archwing.
You say George points to that, because I'm assuming he's still with Gregory. He points to that and says, that would be the airship.
Gregory kind of looks at it with his mouth hanging open. You live on that?
Yeah, you think it's impressive now? It flies.
What do you mean it flies?
George if I'm remembering the design of this thing correctly, there are basically like essentially giant like propellers on the sides.
It's like the helicarrier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a helicarrier. So George kind of points to those, generally explain how it functions in like the most simplistic way possible. It's like,
Well, you see those big thingies go round and round, and then it goes up.
No. No. He explains that it just, using like jets and propellers, it ascends into the air. He also points out that it is powered by raw nuclear waste, a decision that he thinks is incredibly stupid, and complains about that for about 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. Nancy,
Yes.
are you speaking to the wife about anything?
I guess.
Man, I love food. We should get food sometime.
There's this really neat Denny's down the road. Oh,
I would love it. I would
love
it
their
so much
value
if there was
menu.
just. I honestly would be absolutely okay with there just being a completely functional Denny's. Like nothing is wrong with it. It's just all the workers are as clean as a Denny's worker can possibly be. The store is in perfect condition. Everything around it is fucked. But it's just there. And it's just like, I'm just imagining a man like crawling through the desert, food, water, and he just looks up, he sees the Denny's.
I smell a commercial.
Yeah, basically. It's a commercial for, I don't know who it's a commercial for. If he's rejecting the Denny's, who is Denny's competition. I don't think Denny's has competition.
Not really.
Pretty sure Denny's is like the bottom feeder of restaurants. Like no one competes with it because they don't need to.
Denny's is so good though.
I love Denny's.
So safe. So. Oh,
It's
God,
always the same, no matter where you are.
I can't remember what is the line. It's like so safe, so secure, so Shoney's. Alright, so yes.
So I'm gonna say Nancy.
But just wallop their mic. You just blew my eardrums out.
Not me.
that wasn't me.
What the fuck? All I heard was this like really sudden, really loud thud noise.
Not I, said the intergalactic space shrimp.
I'm gonna say Nancy was just kind of talking about like, oh goodness. I'm gonna say Nancy brought up the kid, in the bell, and was like, "You got any names yet?"
Through your conversations, you find out that she, well, for starters, does not have a name, and that's because they don't know the gender.
Right.
I briefly, and then when I put it back out,
What did Michael say? He cut out for me.
Yeah, you're cutting out something fierce.
I thought you guys.
Mm.
No. Okay. I thought you guys said the wife didn't have a name.
No, like for the kid.
Yeah.
Is Michael talking?
I don't know.
Fraggle, Fraggle.
Okay, he's talking now. But
Just
they don't have a name yet because they don't know the gender.
Yep.
They don't even have like possible names for if it's a boy or a girl.
As of right
Sounds
now,
aren't
no.
terribly common.
Okay. How many months away is she?
She has no idea.
Oh, wonderful. It's a good thing we're getting to the settlement Because that's going to be very important.
I mean, there isn't exactly an ultrasound anywhere.
Wait, they don't have that kind of stuff in Fallout?
I mean, certainly not a fucking roving merchant caravan.
Quack.
They wouldn't have that in the med bay?
Do you think you think we've been in a med bay? You think they've been anywhere near a med bay of any
No, I'm
persuasion?
asking, does the Arc Wing have a med bay?
Fuck if I know.
It has a med bay. It probably doesn't have an ultrasound though.
Why not? It's a med bay.
It's a med bay for a combat infantry, not a maternity ward.
I will also say the Brotherhood sexy. Do they have?
I have
I
no idea what
cannot-
you just said.
Yeah, nope, no idea what Michael said. Sorry, Michael.
Just ignore me.
No, we couldn't
No,
hear
we want
you.
to know what you have to say.
No, I know you. No, I know you couldn't hear me. I was just saying, like, don't worry about it.
But I'm going to worry
Let's
about
see.
it if later you try to do character dialogue and we can't hear you.
I'll text for a while, I guess.
Do you think calling and then calling back would work?
Yeah, I'll leave the call.
So, potatoes.
Fraggle. So yeah, we arrive at the settlement. Yes? Or is there
Yeah.
shit in between this?
Well, I mean, you're on your way, and Lucas, at this point, you do see that flying back towards the Arkwing are two vertibirds with one of the tankards, and they're flying
Good.
back towards the Arkwing.
Good. I kind of look up, and I'm going to kind of pull my radio off my belt. I'm going to find the radio station or the radio frequency for Mama Bird, and I'm going to kind of chime in. Hey, this is Lucas. We're coming back now. No need for pickup. We just saw two of your ships fly overhead with a tanker. How many of those have you gotten so far?
It takes a moment before you hear the clicking from her side, as in like she's pushing to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Is that all she says with that?
Yep.
Right. Fair enough. They're heavy. At least we're getting somewhere. And it looks like you guys found a good supply for it. I mean,
You hear the clicking again over the radio. Well, originally, we were told to stay here. For whatever reason, we were given the orders to start fueling up. So, we're making trips back and forth. This is the first one to see if it was even possible. And that's all she says.
fair enough. You want me to head up there so I can head out with the vertibirds? Me and my group can fly with them in case we need defenses, or do they have paladins with them?
You hear the clicking from the radio. Right now we're fine. There are paladins with them, so they should be fine. And if those go down, well... And that's all she says.
Understood. I'm being clear the comms so you can get back to work.
Sent 47 paladins to get fuel for the Arkwing all day.
Never heard from again.
They went
Yeah.
down to engineering bay all day.
Yeah. That is George's meme right there. Just like.
All right. So, what is the party doing?
Are we arriving back at the settlement, or is there
You're
RP to be
currently
done?
walking up to the gate.
Okay.
Well,
I kind of
wall.
I motion George to walk ahead with me.
Yeah, George.
What the hell is that noise?
It sounds like an upset. I was about to say it sounds like a really messed up kid trying to beatbox.
That was my dog itching herself. Honey, you're fine. Do not itch.
So yeah, I motioned George up. George, did you say you went up?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's going up with you.
Yeah. Hey, are the gates closed or are they open?
Right now they're closed.
I kind of wave at the guard towers, trying to get someone's attention.
Okay. You see one of the paladins that is verily heavy armed. He points his weapon down at you. State your business.
We run the settlement.
Pretty much.
George kind of chuckles to himself. Technically, you don't have a role.
Fuck off.
And I'm supposed to believe that.
Hold
This
on.
is the man.
I radio Timothy. Timothy, can you tell your paladin?
I'm gonna say
I'll
like,
wait
as
for
he's
this.
radioing
I'll wait for
George.
this. I radio Timothy. Tell the paladin at the gate to let us in.
What does George do?
Well, apparently I'm not allowed to do anything. So
I mean,
George
all
just stands
I
there
was saying
looking
was,
annoyed.
Michael, I was doing what I was doing. You can still do what you're doing.
Nah, George just stands still.
Really?
All right. After a brief moment, you do see that the guard up in the tower seems to get a radio call, and he doesn't say anything, but the gates begin to open.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So are you moving in?
We're going in.
George just kind of walks in.
We're going in. We're going in.
All right. As you enter through the first gate, the second gate starts opening as the first gate starts closing.
All right.
Same
Fancy
thing
gates.
for the third gate.
Even fancier gates. So we've got all three walls. And when the first one collapses, we move inward, right?
Yeah.
That's the joke. That is not the tune, however.
Listen, I'm sick, man.
I don't care. That's your memory.
Leave me alone.
Michael doesn't watch the
No,
show.
straight
He got
down.
closer. Anyways. Yes, we are inside the gates.
So, what would you
I
like
will
to do?
take the
I'm going to Hannah.
Okay.
George is gonna help them get set up. The group.
Okay.
He's gonna try to find Mikasa. No, he's actually gonna try and make sure that the wife is okay, as she kind of gets settled in wherever George has them, go, because he is mayor.
God, would I have the radio frequency for the med bay?
You would not.
Would I have a radio frequency for Charles?
He does not have a radio.
I don't think
Got it.
Charles. Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't have a radio frequency.
I mean, unless you want to make the wild assumption that he's a synth.
I'm still going to go to Hannah's.
All right. George and Nancy, what specifically are you doing? To help the group?
George is going to try and find them a place that they can set up their tents as like an impromptu shelter for the time being, and then he's going to actively try to work towards getting them a more permanent structure.
Nancy's gonna join him and just keep a close eye on the wife and just make sure she's comfortable.
Okay. Looking around the settlement, there hasn't been too much progress, considering it's only been 2 days since you left. Supplies seem to be stagnating at this point, so no one really seems to be able to do anything without any more supplies. But there are small little shelters here and there so that people, like right now, everyone has technically some place to live. It's not great, but it's something.
George is going to... Does George know of, like, towns or, like, abandoned towns, rather, that he could go looking for scrap and building supplies?
Yeah, you know of an abandoned town nearby. All things considered, it's relatively close.
I'm assuming we're talking about the one the nightmares are under.
I'm talking about Freedom's Hill.
Oh. Actually, on that note, again, George is going to help them get situated. And then I will actually say, because this reminds me of something that George wanted to do.
Okay.
George is going to sort of pull Nancy aside once they're mostly set up and say, "So,
Yeah.
what do you think about going? What do you think about going on a little expedition with me?"
So they're all settled at this point?
It takes not really that long of a time, considering there are a bunch of empty plots, and it's all pretty much just first come, first serve as to where the housing is going to be. And they only have tents and a single Brahmin, so there's not much setting up that really needs to be done. They just needed to be directed to a point where to set up.
So right now they're fine.
Yeah, right now they're fine. They are getting the sideways curious glance from the other settlers, but aside from that, nothing.
Okay.
Are there any, like, does George actively witness anyone do this?
Yeah. This is like pretty much everyone giving a cursory glance or a curious look towards these new people in town.
George just kind of, in earshot, I'm going to say George actively tries to, like, tell them, essentially, it's like, yeah, no, they're going to be part of the town. I'm trying to think how he would, because they're merchants, correct?
Yeah. Or at least Gregory is.
Yeah. It's like, more merchants in town is always a good thing. More business, more trade.
And that seems to, like, even the first statement from you seems to settle a few people's curiosity.
After all this, Nancy turns to George. I would be down for an expedition, but at some point after our expedition, I would like to try to get her to a med bay, just making sure everything's okay as much as we can. As long as they're okay with it. But we can ask them after our little expedition and after they get all settled in.
George looked like he was going to do something, but after Nancy said if they want us to, he kind of like stopped. Like, all right. Well, we should probably bring Lucas as well, because I have a feeling there might possibly be something that goes wrong. But then again, I always think something's going to go wrong.
What is this expedition you have in mind? And
Remember New Freedom's Hill?
sorta.
Well, there's that would theoretically just be lying around over there.
I'm sorry, you cut out for a part of that. What's lying around over there?
A lot of scrap.
Oh. What about scrap?
Well, we have a settlement that needs building.
Oh,
We need to get resources from-
and this'll look good for you. I'll help you out, Meryl, chum, old buddy, old pal. Let's build a whole building.
George just kind of looks at her a little weird, like, I'm not doing this because I'm... okay.
I know you're not. I know you're not. You're doing it because you're a good dude, and she kind of gives him a light punch in the shoulder. Like, not, just playfully. I know you're just doing this because you're a good dude.
George's arm falls off.
God fucking damn
That
it.
complicates matters. That complicates things a bit.
You get a new arm, I build the things, and then you make me your second in command underneath whatever would be second in command in mare terms.
I don't really think there's a hierarchy here. Again, I gave them food.
Make one.
He's elected on the platform of crab meats.
You could make this a dictatorship, and I don't think they'd give a crap.
Honestly, no, probably not. All honesty.
But seriously, can I have this some kind of title? I want a title.
Sure, fine. Your
Don't make it something stupid.
Treasurer.
I am treasurer. I suck at money, but who cares?
I mean, it's much like my title. It's almost completely meaningless.
Fair enough. What's Lucas?
Janitor.
He'll kill you for that.
Wait, I have a better idea for a title for me.
Choose your words carefully.
Can I get knighted?
George just kind of looks at her, somewhat dumbfounded. First of all,
I know
if
it's
you
not a
want to be
monarchy,
knighted,
but I want to be knighted. Even
George
if
kinda
you
holds
just call me Sir Nancy, I don't care.
George kind of looks at her as if to say, like, wait a moment, and then points at the nearest, points in the general direction of the nearest paladin. It's like, if you wanted the rank of knight, technically, that would be them.
She walks up to the paladin.
Okay.
No, wait! He actively tries to, stop her. I didn't mean it that... Okay. George kind of pulls her aside and is like, alright, what I mean by that is, their rank system functions off of, old medieval qualifications.
Cool. She goes back up to the paladin.
George, again, tries to stop her, and then kind of, halfway through is like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's simply not worth it. It's just... Oh my god.
Okay, so Nancy walks up to the paladin.
Greetings.
He looks down at you. He is in a full power suit as he looks down at you, and his voice is a little robotic as he talks. Yes?
And she gives him a little wave. Hi, I wanted to ask, How do I become a paladin?
Well, first you would have to join the Brotherhood, serve for a while as a scribe, move
How
up
much is
to
a
be
while?
knight, until we deem you worthy to move up.
Does that happen in like a year? Or
That
like
depends on
average?
your mettle and fortitude.
So there's no like guesstimation here.
That depends on your mettle and fortitude.
What's fortitude?
Nancy, I will ask you this
Jesus
one.
Christ.
Would you like to dodge?
No.
Oh no.
I really
Alright.
would not like to die, thank you.
I said dodge,
He
not
said
dodge.
dodge.
But I like the what?
So, but dodge.
Oh,
He's asking
yes,
you
I
to avoid
want to
getting
dodge. Let's dodge an attack.
Yes, would you like to dodge?
Yes. Oh no, I put debuff. Why have
Roll
I done this
agility.
to myself?
Mhm.
Matt, you were right, I'm sorry.
Apologize to Nancy.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank God, Nat 20. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm fine.
You're lucky he didn't give you disadvantage.
Matt,
It was
you're
just a
not
minus
helping.
3.
You're not helping by giving him ideas.
Oh
But I
well.
also
Nancy.
have I have bonuses if we need to add them.
Yeah, what bonuses you got?
Okay. I'm assuming this is agility.
Which is at -3 right now.
Wait, she already nat 20.
My bonus is +3.
You don't have that bonus.
Marina, you nat 20. That's enough.
So I have
Plus
no
0.
extra, but I still have 20.
Because, again, there's no contest here. You nat 20. That's it. It's over. You win.
I mean,
So you roll a 20. With your -3, it brings it down to 4. So you have a +2
What?
to agility.
What? No, she rolled a nat 20. That's a critical
Her agility
success.
of 7 goes down to 4.
Okay.
Her bonus of 3 is now a 2.
Okay.
Ew, I thought that was a -3 to the modifier.
Nope.
yeah, that's what I thought too. That makes okay. Okay,
It's a
I get it.
-3 to agility itself.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
So you still roll a 22.
Yay!
The paladin does clearly show you that he's going to try and punch you in the stomach. So it's not too difficult to dodge. But even as you dodge, you do feel that there was a bit of force behind that punch.
Oh shit!
He's just standing there at this point.
Okay. I'm
Is
gonna
it
go
safe
now.
to say that George was watching this entire exchange?
Yep.
I'm gonna go now. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for answering most of my questions.
Nancy, you're really pushing it.
All right. I'm just gonna go. Have a good
A
one.
man,
And she walks
a
away.
man has already tried to. He has already tried to drop you.
She walks over to George. What did I do? Oh, man.
George is just staring at the pallet.
She kind of waves in front of George's eyes. Yo, what did I do? You don't understand. Why did he try to punch me in the tummy? Is that what fortitude is? Is that like taking a hit? Or is that dodging a hit?
George is in his own little world at this exact moment in time.
She takes him by the shoulders. George, answer me.
I think he thought you had a death wish. George kind of like George's expression almost like lightens. However, I think he did.
George?
He sighs. I know. Next time, don't piss off the people, please.
I didn't try to. I was just asking a question.
Nancy? Remember
George?
that time you punched a hostage to death?
I wasn't punching this time. He was punching.
Nancy, do you remember the time you punched a hostage to death?
George, do you remember the time I didn't punch the guy back just now?
Nancy?
George?
Nancy. No, I didn't do something horribly stupid this time.
Can you at least give me that? I'm
No.
learning.
No. You're just...
She just kind of puts her hand on his face and just kind of rubs it, going, shh. Fine.
George looks just so... It just looks just so flabbergasted. Like he doesn't even know how to react right now. He's briefly at a loss. He just kind of very quietly, never mind, I see why he tried to punch you.
I know, it was because he's jealous of my adorableness. Moving on, let's go on your
Nancy?
adventure.
Would you like to dodge?
George, how many times are you going to punch me in this friendship? I feel like this is an abusive relationship.
He flicks you on the nose.
Ow!
And then walks away.
I'm sick. You abused the sad child. She walks after him.
George walks off in search of Lucas.
Nancy follows, still kind of hung up on this.
Lucas.
Yes.
So you're going to Hannah's.
I'm going to Hannah's.
All right.
He should preemptively roll to dodge.
I'm going to knock on
Find a
the wall
stick
to the
and
side of the door first,
Okay.
in case she electrified the door.
Zap.
So I knock on the door. I knock on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing really seems to happen.
I kind of call out to whoever might be in there. Anyone inside?
You hear from inside. I was told not to answer you.
And why is that?
Because, and I quote, I want it to be a surprise.
Is George approaching?
Oh no, you're still doing
Hannah's
your
at
thing
this
over there.
point? Oh, fun.
We're still arguing. Apparently.
I imagine you haven't even been punched by the paladin yet.
Yeah, probably.
So,
Just kick open the door and embrace death.
I'm going to
It's the.
I'm going to stand to the side of the door. I'm going to grab the handle. I'm going to shove the door open, and then I'm going to back behind the wall.
Okay. As you open the door and as you plant your back against the wall, you see from you looking at the door, a sandbag just gets launched out of it. Not like a very big
God,
sandbag, but like a good
Yeah.
5-pounder.
So she tried to launch a medicine ball at me.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's non-lethal.
I peek my head around the door frame, and I look at the guard, and I'm looking around for Hannah. Do I see the snidely little bitch?
George is not there right now. And as you look at the guard, he says, I warned you.
You didn't need to warn me. That's why I didn't. I'm not going to say it out loud. I was concerned for a different reason, which is why I'm not where I did.
And it has eyes and ears everywhere.
Okay. Where is she?
Secret villain.
Huh?
Are you asking where he is? Where she is?
I'm asking where she is.
Okay. He looks over at you and shrugs. I don't know. She said she was going to go out for a while and she hasn't been back.
Okay. I'm going to go and get that sandbag.
Okay.
I'm going to re-rig the trap, and I'm going to sit inside the shop. And I'm going to wait for her. Not knowing that George is coming this way.
Okay.
George also, I don't believe, has had the pleasure of interacting with Hannah after the traps have been disarmed. Or before they've been disarmed.
So, Lucas, you are just sitting behind the counter, just waiting for someone to open that door. Presumably Hannah, but it doesn't have to be. The trap, it's not a junk jet, but it is essentially a very tiny cannon. A cannon,
Okay.
a cannon seemingly rigged up to a wire that leads around the counter and to the handle of the door. So anyone who opens it fires the cannon.
Okay.
At this point,
So yes.
Nancy and George, both of you have gotten done arguing and are walking to find Lucas, and the last place he said he was going was to Hannah's. What would you like to do?
So, Mayor George, where are we going?
George looks at the door to Hannah's.
For reference, you did not see the sandbag.
He has PTSD. Yeah, George has. I still think it's safe to assume George expects a trap. George has had nothing but traps.
From Hannah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
last
guess
time
Lucas
we almost
Lucas
blew up
has
the
told
cell.
you about them. So yeah.
George chooses to embrace eternity and just nonchalantly opens the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Nancy's behind him.
And as he does so, I'm going to say he lets out the words, "Let's have it."
All right. Lucas, as you sit down behind the bench, and as you arm the trap, you sit down and settle in. The guard seems mildly amused, and you see the door handle starting to turn. And as the door opens, you hear a faint, "Let's have it."
Fuck.
And
Sorry,
you're not
George.
dodging.
Can George see as he opens the door? Does he have a chance
He
to
doesn't see
dodge?
George doesn't see a goddamn thing.
I will say George does preemptively try to dodge. He rolled a 1.
Nancy, make an agility check.
Oh, baby.
No.
George is about to tackle Nancy.
I got a 10.
10. Okay.
Plus 2 is 12.
George, as soon as you open the door, it doesn't. You don't take any damage from it, but you do get pretty forcefully pushed back by a 5-pound sandbag.
Oh, no.
As you are being pushed back, it does sort of catch you unaware, because that's not what you were expecting. You get flown back, and Nancy, seeing George preemptively try to dodge, he just wasn't quick enough. You try to move out of the way, only to be met with George's body flying on top of you, and you fall to the ground with a sandbag on top of you.
Did Nancy take any damage for a robot falling on top of her?
Well,
no,
why
it
do you
wasn't that
do
forceful.
this?
Why are you trying to make your life harder,
I would
Marina?
imagine he's heavy.
I mean, he's probably not much heavier than a full-grown man.
Really?
He's just the frame.
Oh.
To be honest, like, at base value, yeah, he's, like, other than the face, he's still basically just a robotic skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually
He's
probably
wearing armor.
Without the armor, he's probably as heavy as Lucas is, honestly.
Yeah.
So you don't take any damage. It's
Now,
George,
now-
surprising. Can George what?
I'm gonna say George stands up and he picks up the sandbag and is just kind of looking at it.
All right.
Nancy slowly gets up. Ow.
I kind
I'm
of
gonna
stand
say-
up behind the counter. That wasn't meant for you.
George is kind of... George, at hearing Lucas's voice come from behind the trap, looks very perturbed for a moment.
I already dealt with it. I reset it to try and hit Hannah.
George turns to Lucas, fire in his eyes.
Don't give me that lip bucket and I flip you off.
George is very calmly and very, very steadily walking in Lucas's direction.
Nancy sees this and quickly runs in front of him. Dude, it was just a sandbag. Take a deep breath. Not that it matters because you're a robot, but take a deep
18
breath.
to get Nancy out of his way.
What was that?
George rolled an 18 to get Nancy out of his way.
Nancy, make a strength saving check.
Beat an 18.
Oh, holy shit, that was a 20.
Beat it.
So,
Jesus Christ!
George, you try to push Nancy out of the way, but Nancy is able to put up at least a decent enough amount of a fight to where you just can't push her.
Ha.
Unless you, like, really wanted to hurt her.
George.
I'm adorable. And sick, which makes me more
George
adorable.
is...
Unless you really wanted to hurt her.
George, not again.
George looks at Nancy, and he kind of looks over her shoulder at Lucas.
Still flipping you off.
And he looks at... George has rolled a 17 to throw the seat at Lucas's face.
Throw Nancy.
I would like to roll an agility save
No,
to catch it.
throw the sandbag.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do that, John?
Yes, you can.
I gotta beat a 17.
Yep.
Yeah, of course you're gonna make
I
it.
roll a 20 total. 13
I-
plus 7.
Hate you
Wait,
so much. You
Hold on. No, I looked at the wrong thing. You just hit me. You just hit me. I take it in the chest. Or John, describe it.
You're specifically trying to throw it at Lucas's face?
Yep.
All right. Lucas, it's not that forceful of a throw, but it is still enough to at least make you wobble a little from where you're standing. It doesn't hurt. It's just annoying.
I don't move from my position, and I'm still flipping him off.
Nancy turns to George, and you yelled at me for earlier.
If I know this,
George.
if I didn't, or actually no, even if I wasn't wearing metal armor, you still would have gotten it because you were attacking. So me matching the 17 wouldn't have gotten there to get it.
George, slightly pleased with having hit Lucas in the face, does still look at Lucas angrily. You know, having Rock and Hannah booby trap the stores in town, that was bad enough. You?
I'm not the one who set it up
I
originally.
expect better.
You stop that. I'm not the one who set up the trap originally. Bucket. Stop that.
That's a level of
you're both
maturity.
pretty. Let's try to find Hannah.
George turns around. Nah, I'm doing my thing. Peace. He leaves.
What is that?
I didn't lower my hand this whole time. I'm still flipping you off.
Lucas, come on, man.
Fuck you too.
Hey! And she flips him off.
I twirl my middle finger at you.
Nancy looks at her own middle finger, then looks back at Lucas, then at George, back at Lucas, then back at her finger and goes, "They're a bad influence on me sometimes."
I never claimed to be a good influence on anyone.
George.
Mm-hmm.
As you're walking away, it looks like a scribe male runs up to you. Are you George?
George looks at the scribe. I think so.
Wait, you mean you think as in you're not and you're pretending to be, or you are?
I'm George.
Do you have, and he pulls up a small sheet of paper, a Larkus and Nancy?
Yeah, I got a Larkus and a Nancy.
Well, I was told to tell you that Vlad, Timothy, and James have a situation that they need the three of you for.
Oh boy.
Oh, fun.
I'm assuming on the top deck.
I assume.
Okay. George. Yes, George kind of turns around in the general direction of Hannah's store. Just yells, "Alright, fuckers, let's go."
I was half expecting you to shout Larkus and Nancy.
Oh no, he's holding on to those for later.
Nancy kind of waddles out. I thought we were waiting for Hannah.
Now, apparently we have other things to do.
Says who?
George looks at the scribe. Yeah, says him.
Oh, hello.
Are
Nancy
you
kind of waves to the scribe.
Yep, yeah, she is.
Wait, what do you call me?
Guess your name.
Nancy kind of looks at both of them. Okay. She walks over to George suspiciously. Either I misheard him, but that was not my name.
I don't know what you're talking about, Nancy.
Okay. I'm watching you,
It's
Jorge.
Don't you trust your dear friend George?
Nah, how about Larkus?
George looks at her, somewhat confused. That's actually what he called him.
Wait, really? Oh my god.
So, Larkus, what are you doing?
Take the sandbag, shut the door, reset the trap.
Now then.
How are you going to leave after resetting the trap?
I don't know anything about this.
He did yell, "Let's go, fuckers."
How close was he, John?
He's like right outside the door.
Oh, all right. Well, okay.
No, Larkus actively decided to just
No, you stop that. I'm going to set the trap, shut the door, and leave.
Okay.
He just kind of watches Lucas go. Not exactly approvingly.
I looked at Nancy. Fuck you.
What'd he say?
Fuck you.
Man, this family's got issues.
So, what are you three doing?
George is heading for the top deck.
I guess that's where we're going.
Follow him. So,
Alright.
did the scribe want us to do?
We are going to talk to Timothy, Vlad, and possibly James. Fuck if I know.
Oh, good.
So,
If those of you with nostrils would prefer to wait outside, I suppose you could, but we were specifically all requested.
I think I can handle it.
Nancy, roll.
I handled it pretty well last time. I'm sure I can handle it again. If not, I'll simply leave the room.
So, as you take the fairly regular walk over to the up the ramp over to the elevator and hit the button to get to the top floor, anyone who would want to preemptively cover your nose or something, by all means do.
I'm doing that.
Fancy do.
All right. Constitution save.
Endurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Natural 19 plus 2.
15.
All right. As the doors open to the main top deck, or the elder's office, you do see James standing there. He is not in a Deathclaw onesie.
Oh, thank God.
You see Timothy standing there, and you see Vlad standing there. In the middle of them is a woman with stark white hair. And her back is turned to you.
Wait, yo, as a player, just refresh my memory, fellow players. Charlotte was blonde, right?
I don't remember.
She was, yes.
Yes. I'm pretty sure if Charlotte showed up, that is a kill on sight scenario.
Depends.
Because it could be the real Charlotte.
Yeah, we don't actually know what happened to the real Charlotte. So far as we know, no one does.
I think we're under the impression that the things in the sewer took her that one time.
But we have no idea if she's still alive or long dead.
That's true.
George also has, I will say this, just as like a player to the party statement. If the real Charlotte were to appear, George would still not trust her.
Yeah, because if she was alive, there would be a reason why they kept her alive.
Exactly.
John?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you if this is the same color hair as Charlotte?
Does white sound like blonde?
I mean, sometimes you can have a you can have a bombshell blonde, or platinum blonde, which is pretty much close to white.
It's not Charlotte.
But I will assume that from your tone, it is not the same.
George is gonna roll perception to see if he's seen this woman before.
Okay.
He's rolled a 17.
You have not seen her before.
Okay. George kind of steps out of the elevator. Howdy, folks.
Vlad, I'm alive.
Is Lucas saying anything? Or just stepping out?
Step out. My hand covering my face.
Okay.
James. You called for us.
So, James looks pretty angry. Like, he looks genuinely angry. Once again, he's no longer wearing the Deathclaw onesie.
Oh, I didn't realize he was. Okay, I didn't realize you said that.
I didn't either, actually.
I'm gonna guess this woman has to be with that.
George is actively going to walk sort of towards them and into the fray. So what exactly is the situation?
As Timothy looks like he's about to speak, the woman turns back to you. Immediately, the things you notice are, once again, her stark white hair, her outfit, which is just a full skin-tight black bodysuit.
I'm going to cut you off just to make one statement that George is actively looking for this.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have one of the collars?
Oh yeah, it's right there. On her neck, there is a metallic collar that says 002 on it.
George looks... George, so yes, George, as she turned around, was preemptively looking at her neck.
Okay.
So as she turns to face him, he is already acknowledging that.
I just can't say under my breath.
You just kind of say under your breath, silence.
That's a single digit.
Whispered in the sound of silence. George looks at the collar for another moment, looks up at her, puts his hands behind his back in sort of a... just puts his hand behind his back and just kind of looks at her. So, would you like to open this conversation, or shall I?
Her entire facial expression is just completely unamused. And she's not really showing any emotion on her face. The thing that you can notice is, aside from her collar, are the very unnatural color of her eyes. The other ones that you have seen
were bright green and unnatural blue, if I recall correctly.
Yes. These ones, to match her hair, are just stark white.
Like no pupils or nothing, or is there like a little black dot?
There is a little black dot. She does have a pupil, but it is like paper white. And she looks over to the party. You're back.
Yes, we're back. And you're here.
Who are you?
George extends his hand. George! Nice to meet you. And you're 2, I guess.
She looks down at
Unless you actually... I don't expect you to shake it. It's just a matter of courtesy.
I was told to show a little courtesy, and she shakes her hand.
Does George notice anything about her hand? Anything at all?
Not that you can notice, no.
So, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that this is about my requests.
What request?
I keep asking that question, and I don't know why I keep expecting an answer. We met a little girl who was one of you. She implied that she had some kind of communication with... I don't know if I should call them your leaders or your masters or... Whatever the case. I tried to send some kind of message onwards to him, and I have no idea if it was actually heard or if anyone cared. Doesn't matter. How can we help you?
She looks... It's very hard to notice, but she does look a little upset. Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm not with them anymore.
George looks conflicted.
And who is them? Exactly.
Even though
We've been wondering that for a while.
Showing any facial expression, when she looks over at you, Nancy, there is pure hatred in her eyes. Something that must be killed.
George kind of looks at her. My kind of woman. Okay. And George kind of, well, he only has the one arm. He just kind of sort of bows, but not really. Just kind of very slight. So, I think we need to have a nice long talk then. But I'm assuming you came here specifically because you wanted something from us. Or, he kind of pauses, or you have something for us.
Well, I do, but I don't have it anymore.
George pauses again. Wait a minute. Are you, you've been to the Commonwealth recently, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Ah, I've heard about you. I wasn't given a description, but I knew you existed. So I'm guessing you were sent on by either the Minutemen or whoever runs them. Nick, something like that?
I was sent by a man named Nate.
Oh, it was Nate.
I had the carcass of one of their creatures that they love to parade around everywhere.
Yeah, we've met those.
And you're still alive.
George looks at it. Harris kind of looks at the party. Physically, yes. Emotionally, we're dead inside.
Her eyes linger on all three of you as she looks you over.
Specifically, we were down in a sewer where there were... George kind of pauses. 4 of them? I think there were 4 of them.
Either way, the body was taken from me on my way here.
George looks annoyed but not surprised. I kind of figured as much.
There's all blood.
George kind of pauses. And I can't remember her exact description, but George is going to describe the woman he saw who took the body from them to her. Was it someone like that?
So you're describing...
Yeah, I hear you.
What?
Yeah. Marina doesn't think we can hear her.
I can't hear her.
Is she
Okay.
talking?
She was a moment ago.
Well, 2 of us can't hear her. Marina, leave and come back.
Alright, I guess she's going to leave the call and come back. But yeah, George describes the woman.
How do you describe her?
I don't remember what she looked like.
But just everything that George
Yeah.
had seen?
Yeah,
Including
everything.
or excluding the dogs?
Including the dogs.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear her.
Is she back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk.
Hello?
Fuck you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, George gives her the description.
Okay. She seems pretty uninterested. So what about her?
Was she the one who took the body from you?
No. None of the double digits have the strength
Okay.
to.
Who
So
has
this
the
was
strength
big-
to?
One at a time.
Sorry.
George said, who has the strength to?
And Nancy, what did you say?
Nancy said, the big guns.
Another single digit.
Mm.
I have a question, if I may ask.
What is it?
So, this number system, does it rank you guys by strength and ability? Like, do the single digits have more abilities and enhancements than the lower digits? Or the higher digits, I should say?
Single digits have no flaws. We're able to adapt perfectly with what we were given. Double digits are not.
That seems very arbitrary.
Your collars all have a 3rd digit. What's up with them? Are they the experiments that didn't succeed?
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, me neither. He cut out really bad.
Triple digits. Are those the ones that didn't get past testing? Essentially just failures.
We have no numbers going above 50.
There.
It's just an arbitrary numbering system. Sounds like the kind of thing some lunatic with an assembly line for people would have. George kind of lowers his head. That's a very familiar concept for me. And then kind of looks at her again. Alright, so I'm going to toss out 2 concepts. Was it He doesn't say this, but was it Blue Eyes, Black Hoodie, or whatever his appearance was?
Blue Eyes, Black Eyes, Shadow.
Yeah. He describes him. Yeah, he describes him first. Was it this individual?
No, he's one of the far weaker ones.
I have a bone to pick with him, but I'll get to that eventually. And then George is going to describe the paladin with the bear on his shoulder.
Helmet.
Okay. I have no idea who that is.
It was just a hunch. Alright, well, what does it look like? Can we get something?
What does who look like?
The person who took the body from you. And, for that matter, why did they leave you alive?
Because if we kill each other, that'll just lead to not nice things.
George kind of pauses. That does work off a theory I had. So you all feel a sense of camaraderie for each other, even if your allegiances to your creators differ. I get that.
If you ask anyone who is still with them, we have one creator. If you ask me, or the 5 others who have deserted, we have 2 creators.
Tell me everything you can.
Well, for starters, our first creator has been lost. He's the one that found all of us. He's the one that gave us our abilities. And he is the one who took us all in and raised us. He was lost. No one knows where he is. Our second creator is the one who numbered us, who ranked us based on power alone. We don't know what either of them look like.
Can you give us a general ballpark of where they are?
If I knew, I would have attacked them.
That's fair. George kind of lowers his head. This has been... He kind of looks at her. It's not your fault. You did everything you could. And you're here, so you can help. And he kind of looks at her. And we'll do our best to help you too.
The ones who attacked me, they're the only single digits who travel in a pair. 003 and 004.
Which one was the one that George met? The little girl?
That one was 010.
Okay. So, yeah, that was the first non-single digit they had met.
Second.
Second? Oh,
Blue
you're
Eyes.
right, because Blue Eyes, yeah. George does kind of look at her. So, are your abilities... Random doesn't seem like the right word, but so far, every one of you we've met have been drastically different.
All 2 of them.
Have we only met 2?
Yep.
Why did you
Met
think we...
2. You've heard about 3.
Couple.
Yeah, you've heard about a few of them.
Either way, we had one who had pyrokinesis and mind control, and one who could commune with animals.
What about it?
I'm saying there's not a lot of cohesiveness here. Was there any rhyme or reason to the abilities, or
We
are
were
we
given
just...
a choice. We could choose what abilities we wanted.
Huh. So he chose that. George frowns. Now I really want him. Either way, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So we don't know where they are, but we know there are two single digits traveling in a pair, I'm assuming in this general area.
When they left, they said they were going to the New Ghoul Alliance.
Oh, dear.
They're still around.
More than likely.
George pauses. Would they be welcome in the New Ghoul Alliance?
She looks at you with even less emotion. Welcome means nothing to us. We go where we want.
I suppose when you're all powerful, what does it matter? Well, I suppose there's nothing for it. I guess we're going to the New Ghoul Alliance then.
If I were you, I would really avoid trying to kill any of my brother or sisters.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's your name? And when I say your name, I don't mean the number. I mean your real name.
I don't have one.
Do you want one?
No. I will
Fair
not
enough.
be called a number, but I see the value in not having a name.
So
That's fair.
you don't want us to call you anything, just
If
that
you want to
person.
speak to me, just walk up to me.
All right.
Here.
Well, if
It's gonna
it's
be around here. I kind of look at Timothy and she just get around here now.
Like I said, if I want to be somewhere, I will.
I'm not disputing that.
George kind of chuckles. Why do I have a feeling you just waltzed in here?
You hear from Timothy? Because she did.
That's funny. Well, no one's
Also,
dead.
because I'm curious, how the hell is he out of that dead 12 onesie?
I was really hoping no one would mention that.
You see, the woman looks mildly amused and looks over to James. And Timothy looks proud of himself. Well, you see, I made a little wager with my father that if I could beat him in a duel, he would take it off. We both decided to have a good night's rest before the duel. He did not know that I had laced his food with enough tranquilizer to bring down 10 deathclaws.
Oh my god. George is laughing hysterically.
He beat you.
James just looks mildly amused, slightly proud, but mostly angry.
Hey, your kid beat you in a fight. He used brains to do it, but he beat you.
It won't happen again.
We'll see about that.
I'll get another.
Not if I massacre it. Next one we find, if we kill it, I'm shredding that skin so you can't wear it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not dealing with that stench again.
Well, I'm going to tan it and treat it and cure it and keep care of it.
What'd you say?
Yeah, we can't really hear you.
Do what you say.
Stop
Michael,
it.
stop.
He said he learned to treat it, cure it, and care for it.
You know what? If that happens to be the case, and I looked at Timothy, does he actually know how to do that now?
He sighs. I honestly do not know.
Can I roll an intelligence to see if he's bullshitting?
You can try.
Okay. What's my bonus? 19 plus 1.
As far as you can tell, he fully believes he can do it.
Just don't burn down the engineering bay when you're doing it.
I would not let him.
I mean, it's primarily metal anyway. Hard to burn down a metal building.
I looked to you, George. I turned facing you. I placed one hand on your nub. George. It's James. I looked to James without turning my body. And then I looked back to George. He can find a way.
Don't give him any ideas. And George looks at their new friend. Alright, 2 is too acceptable for title.
She said she didn't want to be known as a number.
I know it's a no. What?
She said she would prefer not to be known as a number.
I apologize. I guess I didn't hear that. Okay, so yeah, George just looks at her. Alright, well. We don't really have a solid plan then right now, do we?
Nope.
Any suggestions?
Don't kill any one of my kind.
Well, what would you suggest we do then?
Hunt down another one of those things so we can have another carcass.
George just kind of blinks a couple times.
I was about to take a sip from my drink. I'll say Lucas also was about to take a sip from his flask. Here's that. Looks to her. Looks at his drink. Takes a bigger swig.
Okay. Do you have any recommendations for how to kill it?
She thinks to herself, do you have any quarries?
I'm afraid I'm fresh out.
You mean like a rock quarry, or do you mean like a target?
Rock quarries. And then he pauses. Well, we don't have any quarries, but I'm sure we could find something giant and heavy. He kind of looks around the room. You know, I'm sure we have a giant metal structure on hand.
You see Timothy's face go pale, and you see James's light up like a Christmas tree.
Should not have said that. You should not have said that.
Oh my god. Either way, so that confirms that so far as we know, the only way to kill these things is blunt force trauma. And a lot of it.
No. Even after we dropped a quarry on it, it could still move.
The tanky bitch.
We killed it
Well,
by having it stay trapped under there and just shot it.
Your bullets penetrated.
how?
Oh yes, bullets penetrate it. It's just hard to hit them usually.
Interesting. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly is your peculiarity, let's say?
Would you like a personal demonstration or a non-personal demonstration?
I do not volunteer.
I can't feel pain. Go nuts.
So you're not going to resist?
Nope.
Okay. George, from the top deck, you get flung out the window.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I had a thought that would be it. Honestly, I thought you were the one who ripped the death ball Lindsay off him. Were you?
George,
Yeah?
as you're falling to the ground, well, actually, Lucas and Nancy, from your perspective, all she did was look at George and look in the direction of the window. He went crashing through it and careening out of it, flailing wildly. She walked over to the window.
Do I not get a say in whether or not he flailed?
I mean, if you want to flail or not, by all means, but you've gone flying.
Nubby is flailing.
No, there was no flailing. He's flying like a stick. He has just accepted what is happening.
And she walks over to the window, raises her left hand and raises her right hand, and George, half of your body is immediately engulfed in flames, and the other half of your body is frozen solid.
Of course. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Those were literally the 3 power stores she would probably have. He didn't think she'd have 3.
So she's Todoroki mixed with Deku's mother if Deku's mother was a badass.
Oh my god.
Sure, yeah.
Also, not to be a dampener, which half of him is lit ablaze?
I hate you. I hate you so
Left half
much.
is on fire.
Left half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For sanity's sake, I'm just gonna say his explosives are on the right. Gonna say this morning he was deciding where to put them, and there's a little voice in the back of his mind. It's like left. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say not that there is literally anyone there to hear him, but George very quietly and calmly says to himself as he is on fire, frozen, and flying through the air, "Ah, neat."
I mean, I bet Mama Bird can see you.
George does make an effort to wave in the direction of the flight deck. Whether anyone notices him or not, he did do it.
Oh my god.
I will say, as you go careening out the window, you fly over the flight deck and the settlement. The people on the flight deck look up at the flaming and frozen ball that you are. Some of them don't know what's happening. Others seem scared. The settlers, they assume it's an attack and they start scrambling.
Oh, God.
And as you're almost about to hit the ground, the fire goes out, you are unfrozen, and just as fast as you got launched out the window, you are very rapidly coming back to the window.
Okay. Tell me when he's back on the ground.
And after a moment of flying back through the air, you are still speeding towards the window, but you slowly start slowing down until you land fairly safely on the in the elder's office.
George just kind of stands there for a moment, makes this noise, then looks at her. That was interesting. Could you drop me over by the settlement outside so I can tell them the world isn't ending?
A little late on the draw for that, don't you think?
Well, I couldn't really ask her to put me there while I was flying through the air.
I look at my skin and I kind of like wave my hand around in front of my face. Nukes.
Alright, smartass.
Flip you off again.
Yes, please.
Boom.
He's just
Go flying out the window again.
Oh my god.
Question: is that window open or is it shattered now?
Oh yeah,
There's just a George-shaped hole in the window.
It didn't even shatter. He just cleaned through.
Mm-hmm. It's almost comical how George-like the window is. George, you do not have a soft landing.
Okay. Alright.
I mean,
You know how,
did
like,
we
you
really
throw a
expect
knife
the
into the
cold,
ground
unfeeling
and it
murder
takes a little
woman
bit?
would give you a soft landing?
What? You and John were trying to talk at the same time, so I didn't
I
hear
will shut
anything
up.
John said.
No, I was just saying, you know how if you throw a knife into the ground, it just digs in?
Oh. Which
Yeah,
end
first.
is dug in?
Head
Okay. George just kind of tries to scramble out of the dirt as elegantly as he possibly can.
Strength check.
Okay. Oh, good lord. Okay. Also, my phone is dying. That is 17.
Okay. Not as graceful as a gazelle, but you do manage to dig yourself out without making too much of a fuss.
Sure. As he stands up, he just kind of holds his hand up. It's like, everything is fine. Do not panic. He's yelling louder than this. It's like, everything is totally fine. Please don't freak out. Everything is under control.
Nancy and Lucas.
Anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Either of you like to do or say anything?
I'm gonna say throughout the whole thing, Nancy was terrified, very concerned, was about to go towards the window to see where the hell she threw him when he started coming back. She backed up. He came back. Their conversation happened, and he went back out the window again. And when she saw him dig into the ground, she just went, "Oh shit, you killed him!" and started running back down. Shouting back to the woman, "You bitch!"
I kind of look to her as I look away from Nancy as she's running down the steps or taking out or whatever route she's going. I kind of look to her and I look to Timothy. He's fine.
I mean, you don't know that.
He's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
He just fell from the. How many stories is
You might have a couple of joints that are fucked up now, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
If I were to say how many stories, it would be like 20.
He just got thrown 20 stories and embedded into the dirt.
I feel like the thrown part has nothing to do with the embedding. That was just terminal velocity at that point.
So does the panic in town subside even a little?
They are very confused and very afraid, but they're at least listening to you.
He just kind of looks over the crowd. Everything is perfectly fine. We have a new friend who is showing off a neat trick. He kind of lowers his head. I didn't know what the trick was going to be. He kind of like brushes some of the dirt off his head because I'm assuming he's just kind of like, everybody just carry on. And then he kind of like pulls it up. Actually, I was planning on mounting an expedition to get some more supplies. If anyone has anything they could contribute to such a trip, let me know.
All right.
And then I'm gonna say George is just gonna not even bother going back inside at this point. He's just gonna try and help out around the settlement.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Also, as I said, my phone is dying, so I might need to
Up on the laptop. I'm gonna, while I'm still up in the office, I'm gonna look to Timothy, I'm gonna look to the window, and I'm gonna nod to James. Was introductions all that you needed us up here for, or is there something else?
James is looking a mix between intrigued and happy after seeing this display. Well, it was originally going to be introductions. Now, I'm not sure what this is anymore.
Well, I look to the woman, since one of my companions volunteered himself for the demonstration and is currently down there, and the other one is currently having a shit fit, running down to help him. He's fine, though. Trust me. Lucas Price. And I kind of hold my hand up. Just ask first.
Okay. She does shake your hand.
I will say I'm more at ease with the assumption that you are not our enemy for the time being.
So long as you don't kill any of my brothers or sisters, we will not be adversaries to each other.
That's fair. I don't think we could, but that's fair. Yes. Oh, Timothy. We saw the vertebrates bringing in the tanker. I'm assuming that was I called up the pilots. They're going to get fuel now? What's up with that? They just said start fueling.
Well, considering how easily our new friend came in here, I figured having the option of leaving as soon as possible is not a bad idea.
I can agree with that.
Would anyone else like to do anything?
Besides go screaming down the stairs in utter panic. And then
I like to imagine.
searching desperately for George and making sure he's at least functioning.
I like to imagine she's just constantly saying, fuck, 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 fuck. She just runs down like 1,000 flights of stairs.
And sometimes she has to stop, cough, and then keep going. Have a cough fit, keeps going down. Doesn't even bother with the elevator.
Then, I guess this is where we will end it for today.
Alright. It was a interesting session.
I think the
Volunteer.
ending was the best.
He did. He absolutely did. Jesus Christ.